Go. That's what I'm gonna pay attention to. Okay, let's go. Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
What's the name of the podcast?
Nigga, it's a pod named Kickback. A pod named Kickback. It's like a Tribe Called Quest. You say the whole thing.
Welcome to, before we introduce our beautiful guests, let me first introduce the show. So welcome to a pod named Kickback, also known as the Black CNN, and the revolution will be televised. No breaks new, the righteous ratchet. If you throw it, I catch it. If you got it, I match it. Every Monday.
Monday.
Be right back at it. I am the Black Savage.
What up, y'all? What up? It's JB Frank. I'm that gangster geek. Coming at you every goddamn Monday. Representing NWA, Nerds with Attitude. Happy Monday, everybody, and welcome to our special guest. Go ahead, dude.
So for episode 99, we had to do something special. And we normally have guests come in, sit down with us. And I'm like, damn, we can never get none of the DC podcast on. That's fucked up. Then this whole pandemic happened. And we were like, well, shit, we're doing a video. I got an idea. I'm going to hit Sadie Patty tomorrow. I got an idea. So we had the ladies, the beautiful ladies of On Muvas Podcast. We had Sadie Patty and Ari Lawan, right?
That's the name. You said it right. Yeah, cool.
I want to call you Ari so bad. You know,
because my name is Ariel, so Ari is okay. Now you can say that.
Okay.
Wow, your name is Ariel? Ariel. Wow, my daughter's name is Ariella.
That is, this was meant to be, y'all. This was meant to be.
Ari is shaped like a mermaid.
Shape, they say.
Mm.
We'll talk offline, new. We'll talk about it.
Okay, we'll talk about it.
We'll discuss it later.
So, ladies, the beautiful ladies of All Muvas Podcast, please introduce yourselves. Let them know who you are, what you do, what's about, all that good shit.
Hey guys, you know I'm your girl Chatty Patty DC. I'm a journalist, blogger, mom of 3, but definitely in these streets a little bit. So holla at your girl.
In the streets. I didn't know she was
maybe not so much now because quarantine. That's been holding life up. But I be out here.
Well, I am the Ariel Lawan, Ari for short. I'm a mom. I'm an entrepreneur. And I'm your favorite sophisticated ratchet. So you never know what's going to come out of my mouth, and I don't apologize for it later.
Okay.
You're the sophisticated ratchet. I'm the righteous ratchet. I'm the righteous ratchet.
Okay, you think you are.
Oh, we're going to find out tonight.
This is perfect because JB, you and I are the nerds of the group.
I love it. Yes. We're the geek. We're the geeks. So we'll hold up the geek and
the geeks and the ratchets. I love this.
Yeah, geeks and ratchets galore.
What we do to start every episode is we start with a high low. So your high of the week and your low of the week. JB, show them how we do it with the high low.
So I'm gonna start with my low of the week, and my low is actually a lot of shit that we're going to be talking about a little later on in the episode, mainly because these things affect me personally. The prospect of going back to work and getting back to work now in Georgia is really, really dangerous, and so dealing with that shit and dealing with my bosses and trying to let them know, look, I do not need to be going to work. I can do my job perfectly well from where I'm at because I've been doing it. That has been my personal low of the week. And it's not that low compared to other weeks, for real. I've been blessed this week. My personal high this week was a huge high. And I'm going to combine 2 social distancing events. I got to see my children for the first time in 8 weeks on Monday. Yeah, so again, when COVID-19 hit, I was actually going to work. So I was putting myself at greater risk, whereas their mom had shut it down completely, total quarantine. They were in the house as soon as school closed. We felt like it would only be smart to separate ourselves and properly quarantine me and social distance me, right? So I was able to get an antibody test and then a COVID-19 test. Both came up negative, and then we were able to end the quarantine from me and my children, and I was able to see them on Monday. Furthermore, then New and I got to hang out with our brothers yesterday at another social distancing event. So I'm starting to see family and folks again. That is my personal high this week, and it's a big one for me because I've been in this fucking house all by myself.
JB, real quick, did they do the whole invasive nose test?
Oh, it was horrible. It was horrible. They stuck what felt like, like a pump. You remember when you light fireworks, like a pump? They stuck one of those in my nose, and it burned my nose for a solid 2.5 minutes. And then they were like, "No, hold it in there." My tears and shit running down my face. And I'm a pretty strong motherfucker. I've broken bones and all kinds of shit. I'm pretty used to getting tests done. This shit was not pleasant at all. My nose burned. I felt like a coke addict or some shit. My nose burned for like another 20 minutes and shit when I got home. It was bad. I'm just keeping a buck with y'all. That shit was not fun at all.
I'm sorry, babe.
It's all good. It was worth it. It was worth it.
All right, Chatty Patty. What was your high and low of the week?
Okay, my low of the week, I would say, would be the Democratic Party letting me down again. And I'm sure we're going to talk about it, so I don't even have to go into any details. But I guess I'm not black enough. We'll discuss later. My high of the week was, anybody who's following me, my youngest son, Jaden, he is almost 2 years old, and he has some developmental delays, and he is starting to walk and talk. And
that is awesome.
He said yes, and that just warmed my heart. He took 2 steps last Saturday, or it was last Saturday, but he took 2 steps, and he's trying to walk, and he's into everything. So that was one of my highs of the week. And then the other high of my week was my oldest son, who is turning 12 this year. When I created a TikTok account, he joked me to hell. He was like, "You're too old. I can't believe you're on here. Get off of TikTok. What are you doing?" And now his friends follow me. They think I'm cool. So now he thinks I'm cool. So yesterday he created a post that said, "Hey, follow my mom and help her get to X number of followers." So that made my heart warm because that's his way of saying, "Aye, mom, you kind of cool, you kind of funny." Because, I'm corny and I'm not the cool mom. So for him, as the oldest of all of my children, to kind of look at me and say, "Okay, you might be cool," that made my heart warm.
Geeks are cool. Geeks are cool.
Geeks are cool.
And he's in Avatar. Avatar came back on Netflix. He's watching it, talking about airbending and stuff. I'm like, "Oh, sis, let me tell you something."
So you're into anime?
I am, very much so. Yep.
What else? What else do you watch? Full Metal Alchemist. What you watching?
All of that, and then the first thing that I started watching with my son was Death Note. We watched that together, and that sent him over the top. And then he started watching My Hero Academia, and ever since then he's just been going on and on about anime. So now that we can go back and watch Avatar from the beginning and talk about what's good, what's bad, I'm really excited. He told me, can I get him a flying bison for his birthday?
Yeah. So Patty, your stock is just going up and 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 up. One of our viewers commented, they were like, "We heard one of the women say anime. Hold up." You got everybody interested now.
Listen, anime is where it's at. It's fun. All of that.
I had JB and a chick I dated was both introduced me to anime. But JB told me about Avatar before I left DC. So I watched the cartoon or the anime, and then we actually went to the movie together to see the Avatar in theaters. And I found a couple I like along the way. I'm not into it like JB or our boy Jeremy that's in the comments, but I'm finding my way through it. My well, Ari, since you're back,
My
what
bad,
was your
y'all.
high? All good,
I
all
forgot to
good.
put it in airplane
Um,
mode. People want to call when they know I'm going live. What was the purpose? Well, why would you do that?
they call you like, hey, I just saw you live. I was until you called.
Right? Like, yeah,
Right,
that's the whole
right,
setup.
right,
Damn. Got me looking
right.
all amateurs
So
and shit.
so what's your high and low of the week?
Okay, so high of the week. Everybody knows I'm a single mother by choice. But my favorite baby daddy came and he held it down for 2 weeks. So I've had like a little break. I got to kind of chill, be like, nah, you get them ready in the morning so I can take them to the daycare and work. Like I just been sleeping in later. So that was the high of the week. And the low of the week probably was getting woken up like at the crack of ass dawn this morning by someone that wasn't my kids. So yeah, I was sleepy all day. That was like the only low of the week.
That's
Okay,
not a
that's
bad
not
week
too bad.
then.
I'm doing pretty good for this whole pandemic thing. Like I kind of got a
Right.
routine now. So I can't complain too much. Like I'm still here and I don't have COVID. So
There it is. There it is.
Okay, let's see. Well, I'll do low then high. What was my low of the week? Okay, I'll do this. COVID-19 has affected my family personally, and just thinking about that and kind of what people are going through and not knowing a whole lot. That was probably my low of the week. Um, my high of the week was I've been isolated, self quarantined for 2.5 months. Meaning I haven't seen anybody. I haven't seen JB lives 3 buildings over. I could probably throw a rock at his window and you could hear it. That's how close he is. But we hadn't seen each other. No woman I was dealing with, I haven't seen them. No older relative, nobody. So I was
Hold
feeling
on,
kind of like still crazy.
pause, New. You said no woman I was dealing with. I haven't seen them.
but they seen you.
Okay. Oh
You've
no,
been
they
sending
ain't seen
nudes.
me neither.
Now they seen you.
So when you
Okay,
say
no, they
them,
seen me.
when you
Huh?
say them, how many is them? I heard
Right.
them.
Sorry to be
Oh,
corny with you, but we got questions that need answered.
yeah, yeah. You just opened up a can of worms, my G.
Look at them.
I
I'm
got
going in
nothing.
a
I got
tunnel.
nothing.
I'm in a tunnel, y'all.
Tell him come out the tunnel because he can't be future stepdaddy if he
I
got
got
worms.
nothing, brother. I got nothing. I can't help you out.
Let me elucidate a couple things. I'm ambiamorous, right?
You're what?
Amorous, meaning that I can date monogamously or I can date polyamorously, depending on the situation.
Oh, that's me. Let me put that in my bio because that's me. That's your girl. You pick a side. Whatever you
Uh,
giving, I'm throwing it back. What you talking
I'm
about?
gonna
What you
I'm
want?
match your energy. I'm gonna match your energy. But for the
Hello.
record, I haven't seen anybody. Like I have literally just Pornhub in my iCloud. That's it.
That's it. That's all.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so that sounds like a low. Okay, let's go back to my high.
Yeah, get back to the high. Get to the high. What is the high?
See my brothers this weekend hung out with JB. I mean, hung out with JB, F, Jeremy, Drea, Samantha. I got to hang out with family, and be around them and laugh and joke. And I literally been in the house by myself for 2.5 months, not having any kind of meaningful face to face connection. And I'm a person that's touchy feely. Like I hug all my niggas, like and women. I'm all in a respectful way, ladies. I'm all over women. I'm super affectionate, and to not have seen anyone or touched anyone, I was just like, hey, we'll get to that a little later.
Ooh.
We'll get to that a little.
Mm.
Bernie said, here we go with the foolishness talking about Polly.
Right, right, right.
Is it really foolishness
that,
though? I feel like it could thrive with the right set of people.
it's exactly. He's just not one of those people.
No.
And I'm always like, that's big brother. So you always looking at me like, what the hell are you into now? What the hell are you doing now? And then when I came on, he's like, oh, now this nigga went 20 miles. I'm like, all right, man. So we did our high low. My left stroke just went viral. Our
Oh.
viral story of the week It's going to start with the IG battles. So for those who don't know, us here at the Partner and Kickback, we do an IG battle every week between artists, and we call it the Kickback Battle. To give you an idea of our battles and the difference between us and versus, our first battle was Prince versus Michael Jackson. Our second battle was Jodeci versus Boyz II Men. Our third battle was Tupac versus Biggie. Then we did Beyonce versus Rihanna. Then we did T.I. versus Rick Ross. But this past Friday, we're doing Fridays at 9. We took it back to the love movement, the Daisy Age. I had on my dashiki, and we did De La Soul versus the Tribe Called Quest. And it was lit. It was lit. It was so lit by the end of the battle, I ain't know what's going on no more. I'm like, all right, JB, we got 4 more songs. He was like, we have 2. I'm like,
Nigga, we on song number 18 out of 20. What is you talking about?
I got my top 4 songs I ain't played yet. He like, why didn't you play them? I was like, because we didn't get to them. And then the whole chat is like, no, he's right. You just didn't play them for some reason. And I was like, what the fuck? But I was so wasted. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. But it was lit, and it's a good time. That's like our version of going to the club. Every Friday we do our little music battle. People tune in, get drunk with us. And
that's dope. I'm gonna have to join.
You have to, yeah.
What's the next one? What's gonna be your next one?
Next Friday.
Every Friday.
No, who's gonna be the people?
We're still debating that. What we've done the last 2 weeks is let the kickbackers pick, and the kickbackers are our listeners and viewers. So I'll post a poll in the Facebook group, and I'll post it on Instagram, and they'll vote. So last week they picked De La Soul versus Tribe. Some people wanted Fabulous and Jadakiss. I think that came in second place. And then we had Drake and Kanye. So it's a lot of difference. We got Mariah versus.
Was the Jodeci week?
Jodeci Boyz II Men. Yeah.
I'm only asking because I'm trying to date back. So when I need to sue somebody for child support, I know who to go to.
Okay. There are a ton of implications in that.
Y'all ain't got no disclaimer.
No.
You might want to pick one up.
A partner in Kickback does recommend that you practice safe sex, abstinence, lotion and napkins.
Lotion and napkins.
And our personal favorite, Swallow.
Ooh.
It's gonna be one of them shows.
Well, Lord, drink, sips, drink.
Right, and I've been by myself for 2.5 months, and I get to look at y'all and talk shit. Oh, it's gonna be a good show.
Yeah. Yeah.
I might match your energy, so just be careful what you ask for.
I don't ever ask for nothing I don't want.
I heard you loud and clear.
All right. All right, so that's our second viral story of the week. This is Chatty Patty's uncle, Joe Biden, who
Uncle Joe, sis.
He took care of it during the summers. He put his foot in his mouth this week, JB, by saying he was talking to Charlamagne the God of the Breakfast Club, and he was talking about African Americans, blacks having a hard time distinguishing who they want to vote for. So he goes on to say, well, oh, you got it up?
No, we're good.
Okay. Basically, if you're having a hard time distinguishing between me and Trump, then you ain't black. And right. Charlamagne immediately responded, came back with, and I give Charlamagne credit, it's not about Trump. It's about making sure you have an agenda for our people. It ain't about, fuck Trump, we'll vote for you. No, what are you going to do? And his comments set the media, the Twitterverse, black Twitter on fire. I can see the steam coming out of Chatty Patty's head right now. I can see the steam. I'm gonna throw it to you, Patty. What did you think about those comments?
Okay, so I have a lot of thoughts.
Hold on, sis. Just remember, he had the cookout with Obama. That's who brought him over to the cookout. So before you say it,
listen, that was in 2008. Since then, the cookout has been canceled. We canceled the cookout last year. So there will be no cookout until we get our stuff as a community together. And then the other folks can come as they get their stuff together. I think, so on one hand, I think what he said is right. Because the Democratic Party already thinks that they have our vote.
Yes.
They feel like they have to work for it. So all he said was what Democrats already believe.
Yes.
So I am happy he said it because it lets me know that I'm not crazy and that when we say that they think that they have it in the bag, they really do. But on the negative, I feel uncomfortable with it because it also lets me know that the Democratic Party didn't learn anything from the last election, because this happened 4 years ago when Hillary was the candidate, and I won't say we, but a lot of people said, hey, Hillary is not the one, and nobody wanted to listen. And they went ahead and nominated her anyway, and then later went back and said and admitted that there was some fraudulent activity going on when they chose her over Bernie. So, it's one of those sticky situations where it's like, okay, if you vote, you're showing them that we're going to vote for them anyway, no matter what they do. And we're going to get in line and fall in line no matter what happens. If you don't vote, then we end up with 4 more years of Trump. So we're damned if we do, we're damned if we don't. But to a point, I feel like, because everyone says, oh, well, our ancestors marched so that we could vote. Well, voting or not voting is a statement. Whether I vote or hold my vote, it's a statement. Me holding my vote says I don't support anybody. And, I do feel like at sometimes Trump is the president although I don't always agree with him, he's who we deserve. He is what America deserves, because he is a direct reflection of where we are truly. And although I don't agree with him, and although there are some things that he does that there's not so much that I can say as a veteran and as a current member of the military. I can't fully disagree with a lot of what he does, but I will say he is very reflective of where we are, because we thought when we got Obama in the White House, oh, we're post-racial.
Post.
Are we really? He is very reflective of where we are. The pendulum always swings. And if you swing too far right, or if you swing too far left, you're going to swing back in the opposite direction, and people are going to tell you how they really feel. So, when people say, oh, we have to vote the lesser of two evils, no, we don't. We don't really, if we don't want to. And holding my vote or holding your vote can be a sign of demonstration, because at the end of the day, we can say, oh, we'll vote for him and then we'll get it right later. But we said the same thing about Hillary. When Hillary was the Democratic nominee, not everybody agreed with her politics, but the argument was, let's get her in office and then we'll argue the politics later. But later never came. And now we have Biden. And the argument is, let's get him in office and we'll argue the politics later. No, I say we argue the politics now.
I agree with you 100%. And that's what I think we're actually doing. Berger jumped in and said, we didn't ask this of Obama, so why are we asking it of Biden? He also said he agreed with Patty so much. I think he just saying that because of your haircut. I don't know, Berger. I got
knee long one.
But he says he definitely agrees with you, and Jeremy does too, and Robbie. Everybody agrees with you right now. What I will say is this. I didn't used to vote. I didn't like Clinton. He wasn't the first black president to me because he said some shit about Farrakhan. So I never fucked with Bill Clinton. But I also, I didn't vote. I voted for, what's the guy? I voted for Gore. Because I was like, all right, let me start voting. Let me, not be the dude that don't vote. Because I was like, voting for the lesser of two evils is still voting for evil. Mm-hmm. So I got shaky dreads down. I'm like, I ain't voting. And then in my 20s, I was like, go with Al Gore. And then that's the one when they stole the election. I was like, I told y'all. That's why I don't vote. And then I was like, but I'm not really, it doesn't take much for me to go to a poll. It's not that daunting of a task. First time I voted for Obama, I stayed in line for like 4 hours at one place and then left there, stayed in line 4 hours at another place because they changed my district. But I wanted to be a part of history, so I did all that shit. My point in saying all of that is Trump being in office, it's not because he's racist. It's not because I don't like him. It's because he's incompetent. I told everybody last time, I'm not voting because I don't like Hillary and they did Bernie wrong, so I'm a protest vote. And I was like, that's cute and everything, right? But if Trump gets in office, like some shit gonna happen. He's incompetent. So if a person in charge of the free world is incompetent, there's going to be some kind of catastrophe. You're fear mongering, you're trying to scare me. I'm like, dog, if he gets in office, something's going to happen. I don't know, all of us going to die of some shit. It's something is going to happen. And look what happened. And that's my issue with people voting their interests. It's like, we got to get Trump out. And it's not because he's racist. I think Biden racist. Any white people in their 70s is probably going to be racist. I'm not worried about that. What you going to do, though? If Trump said right now, I have a black agenda, it's going to be like this is this, but still, fuck y'all. I'll be like, that. I'll take it. Give me the agenda. Give me the policy. I don't want him to. People are so enamored with the fact that Joe Biden, he's Uncle Joe. He likes us. I don't give a fuck if he like me. What are you going to legislate?
He likes you now. Remember, he likes you now because a lot of the stuff that he's voted on in the past, he don't give a fuck about us. But he likes us enough now to be on there talking about you ain't black.
There it
right,
is.
but this is my point. I'm not caught up in feeling. I don't care if he likes us or not. What is his policy?
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? And people are feeling to her. Joe Biden said this. That means he doesn't. Nigga, I never thought he did like us. I never thought he did care. So I wasn't shocked when I saw it. It wasn't like, I'm offended now. I'll never vote Democrat. I thought he was racist to begin with.
But see, a lot of people, like, it's like a lot of people feel how you feel, but then there's the other people who are so upset because we really thought that he fucked with us because he was Obama's vice president. So you over here damn, he really fucked with us because that's Uncle Joe now. He over there with, Daddy Obama, and they in the same house and everything's great. But you got to like really know people and their alternative motives. Like, you can have a white friend all day. They still racist. They can still be racist. Just because you have one black friend don't mean you're not racist no more.
And let's unpack that too. So, back in the 80s, he actually made a presidential bid, but he was forced to drop out of the race because he plagiarized his speech. Then, you move forward a little bit and he supported the crime bill that incarcerated a lot of black people, specifically black men. So when people are like, oh, Biden, I'm like,
Biden got your daddy locked up because he was trying to feed his family. Let's be clear.
I'm just saying. And then it's not even just like he supported the crime bill. It's the things that he said while he was supporting the crime bill. He was talking about, lock them up and, they don't, the way that they act, othering people. But the other part of it is, we get behind, we have to vote. And that's why Trump is in office because we didn't vote. That's not necessarily true. A lot of, we get black people as a whole get guilted because it's like, it hangs on your decision. But the numbers show, we showed up last election. We showed up the 2 terms for President Obama. We show up. But what happened?
I disagree. Our numbers in Trump's election were down like 40% from the Obama election. 40% of us didn't show up. More, not like total, but more.
Right.
So there was a huge drop.
So there was a drop. There was a drop because a lot of people were protesting. However, if you compare the numbers to our feminist sisters and everyone else, we still were what hinged on Hillary winning. And if you look at the popular vote, Hillary won. Hillary won off of the black vote. She won by 2-point-something million votes. And a lot of that was the black vote. But what Trump won off of was the electoral vote. So we still show up. Even if we lost a couple of numbers last election, we showed up still. But Trump won off the electoral vote.
Right, but this is the difference. If that 40% that said I'm voting my interest had shown up, it would have affected the electoral college. So then she would have won. That's why black people get the blame. Now, I say it's black men, the black race, and white women. White women dropped the ball. They dropped the fucking ball, but we did too. So I don't single out our people like it's all our fault. No, it's our fault and white women. White women
what I argue is, did they drop the ball? Did they drop the ball, or did they vote their interest? And the only reason I say that is they voted what their men voted. You know what I mean? They march alongside us and put the pink vagina hats on and women's rights. But when they go home, And
They do what that white man says. They do what
have
that white man says. Period.
And that's why I don't like the feminist movement. That's why I don't work with the feminist movement at all. For that exact reason.
There were a lot of interesting points, and I will only add this. Voting is one of those explicit decisions. It is always an explicit decision that brings forward an outcome. And I think that where we are as a people is that we are at a point where we need to either go right or left, literally, because we cannot choose to go nowhere. Choosing not to vote, in my personal opinion, frankly, is choosing to go nowhere. Because even if you are not voting in protest, guess what? Your very level of inaction proves statistically that the people that you want to change have the free will and the right to ignore you because you give them no consequences. What you do when you vote is you not only vote to hire the people you choose, you vote to fire the people that you do not choose, right? So now is the time to fire Donald Trump. I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all, and I'm sorry for being this rude, but
no, you're fine. Don't apologize for it.
Fuck your protest.
Like, please, I want you, JB. Fuck the protest.
Real talk. Fuck your protest. We're at a fucking raging river, and we need to get across that motherfucker safely. We got an idiot who's talking about swallowing bleach and other dumbass bullshit, and we got a racist 70-year-old white man who we know is racist.
I'm going with the racist.
I'm going with the nigga who's getting us across the river. Period. I don't give a fuck what his policies are. He can say, "Hey, nigger, get on this boat."
You know what?
Other black ass is doing. I'm getting on the boat.
We're gonna revolt later. How about that? We're gonna revolt later.
In all honesty, that's what he said. If you don't vote for me, you ain't black. What is he saying? That's really what he's saying. And so my argument, because a lot of people, argued with me about me highlighting that he said that, and well, what are you going to do? Are you not going to vote? It doesn't mean that I'm not going to vote, but I'm going to argue that this is wrong. It doesn't. Nobody's outraged that Trump said da 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 da. We're outraged
every day.
Trump says every day. We have outrage fatigue because we're so outraged with Trump. But that doesn't eliminate the fact that I want to highlight that maybe Joe wasn't the best person to choose, but if we go with him, we need to hold his feet to the fire.
Absolutely.
And that's one. You're 100% right, and I don't have anything to say against that. That's where we all need to be. That's where I am. I think that's where JB is, and from Ari doing this, that's where she is. We have to hold Joe accountable, or if it's Trump, whoever, hold them accountable to what we want. Now, Joe Biden is the first president that I know of that created a black agenda. Obama didn't do it. Clinton didn't do it. Abraham Lincoln didn't do it.
They weren't asked for it either, though. If you think about it, nobody was asked for a black agenda because, so if we go back to President Obama, he was never asked for a black agenda because we didn't know we could have one, but also nobody wanted him to be the black president. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I don't really rock with that. I understand it and I get it, but that's like saying he's not really a fighter. Like, let him be a pussy and don't make him do anything because he doesn't like to fight. He's not a tough guy. Nah, nigga, fight. He smacked your wife. You gotta fight now. I don't care if you get your ass beat. You gotta fight now.
Yeah, that's real.
It's no way around it.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about Obama. I mean, I do like Obama. I'm not an Obama hater. I just don't really like politicians. So I don't like none of the Democrats. I don't like none of the Republicans. I don't like nobody. I did like Obama a little bit, though. I keep it 100. But I don't let him off the hook. So I did want a black agenda from him. I was willing to wait until his second term to do it so he didn't ruffle too many feathers. But when the second term came, he didn't do what I expected.
Yeah.
I lost love for him. Not all love, but just a little bit. But Berger was saying that he hates the Electoral College and he's not going to vote again until they dismantle that shit. The Electoral College is bullshit. But to me, it's a matter of cutting off your nose to spite your face. We do all these things to hurt ourselves as a way to get back at somebody else. I'm not voting because they did Bernie Sanders wrong. But now you got Trump and a global pandemic and people that we all know are dying. That's what you get when you do that. So if you do it again, what else can happen? You know what I'm saying? It's not a thought out plan. It's just it's the kid that take his ball and go home. You didn't. I'm not gonna pay a lot for this muffler. Okay, they did Bernie wrong. So fucking what? What we gonna do now?
And you can't just not vote for Biden. You can't just take your vote and be like, I'm not going to vote. If you
I'm not gonna do anything.
Right. If you sit there and you go vote, but you vote for the third party, you fucking up as well. You got to vote for somebody that's actually going to win. You can't sit there and be like, you know what? I'm going to just write in Patty today because she sounded real good on this episode. So she about to be the next president.
I mean, y'all not writing me in, though. I've got a whole black plan. I'm ready. We're going to bring back Black Planet. We're going to Facebook.
Okay, I might have to vote you in. But no, I mean,
let me be your running mate. Because you know I'm new to mayor. So I should be your running mate.
The mayor, what new? What is you the mayor?
I was the mayor of the DMV, but it's changed a little bit. I'll tell you about it offline.
Holla at me in the chat later. We're going to figure it out.
I asked earlier, how do we hold Biden accountable? Because, okay, fine, we vote for him. Great. Now what?
No. We don't vote for him. This is what we do. We tell Joe Biden, like Diddy said, we are holding our vote hostage until we see your agenda. Now, he's presented us with a new agenda. So that strategy has worked. Now we need to go through the agenda, take out what's bullshit, add shit we like, and say this is the revised agenda. Go with that one and you got our vote. But I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Like his agenda is decent. It's not great. It's not mind-blowing, but it's enough to make you be like, oh, you actually thought about this shit a little bit. And so now everybody's talking right now, instead of talking about his black agenda that he created for us, we're talking about him saying, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. And nobody's talking about his agenda, whether they liked it or disliked it. Nobody's mentioning that. They're only talking about some shit he said to a radio personality. That's distraction. That's
and gets his eyebrows done.
That's Hillary's emails. You know what I'm saying? Get his eyebrows done. Yeah.
He does.
Okay. But that's what this is. This is it's email gate again. We're talking about emails. They got shit to do with shit. When everybody's mad at Hillary for the crime bill. You know who signed the crime bill? Her husband, Joe Biden, and Bernie Sanders. Hillary wasn't even in the Senate. She had nothing to do with the crime bill. But everybody hated her because these fucking Russian bots on Facebook that everybody think they pro-black or think they woke on some bullshit. And don't even know what the fuck they talking about. Hillary had nothing to do with that. But niggas turned on Hillary for something her husband and Bernie Sanders did. Bernie Sanders is the guy behind the crime bill. But they love Bernie. It's like people choosing their favorite white uncle. Which white master you like the most? I don't like none of them. I don't like Bernie. I don't like Biden. I don't like Trump. I don't have no favorite. None of them crackers mean nothing to me. But some of these black people, they get their favorite slave master. My favorite slave master is Bernie. Oh, I love Uncle Bernie. Get the fuck out of here. Fuck Bernie too.
They ancestors was overseers.
Right.
That's what that was. That's what that was.
I feel Listen, y'all, I just got my 23andMe results back like 2 weeks ago. So I'm unpacking a lot. I feel real triggered right now. Ari, don't do me like that.
That's it. I got a little bit in here.
I saw the episode. You was like 20% Irish or some shit.
Whoa, let me tell you something. I was not expecting that because y'all know I am Black Lives Matter now still, no matter what the ancestry says still, right? But I was very shocked to find out 12% and a large percentage of that is Irish. I was not expecting that. That was uncomfortable for me. So y'all pray for me. Lift me up, take me to the prayer room, take me to the prayer closet because it's just not sitting well in my spirit.
But you know, they call Irish people the niggas of Europe.
Oh.
Well, that's not that. God damn.
One and the same. Still nigga. Jason said still nigga.
All right. Still nigga. Hey, JB, help us out right here and get us to this next topic.
Yeah.
We're talking about what the fuck story of the week. What the fuck?
Yeah, our what the fuck the story of the week. What the fuck? This is a crazy one, y'all. Absolutely crazy. I can't even believe that they think that this is okay. But at any rate, Georgia has started this, quote, scientific study, this, quote, statistical drive, whereby they are going to start knocking on individual people's doors and collecting blood samples for them to conduct what they're saying is an antibody test for COVID-19 to better understand the exposure rate of the illness statistically.
Mm-hmm.
This shit stinks like rotten fish to me. Like, fuck out of here. So, number one, kickbackers. Number one, ladies. Where the fuck do you think they're going first to, quote, collect this
the
blood
black
for
neighborhoods?
Straight to the hood. Straight to the hood.
Testing. They gonna want that. That's free testing.
Yeah, Fulton County and DeKalb County. Bing, absolutely right.
Where's the cater at? Where's the cater at?
Decatur probably the shit. I don't know. Decatur's way over there.
So when you guys said we were talking about that, I read the article and it says that you're volunteering to do it, but they're just coming to your door. Maybe it's because you won't see the flyer because you're quarantined. So they just want to make sure that people know that they can just volunteer to do something like that. But your kids got to do it too. It's not just you. If your kids are in the house, your kids are going to do it as well. It's not just one person. They need the whole house.
And see, that's where I try not to be on my conspiracy shit. I'm like, why are they doing that? Like, I want to know the same thing, but what they don't. Something don't add up quite right.
It doesn't add up at all, and we also have to recall that I hate to say it, 23andMe is actually one of those sort of ancestry businesses that worked out a deal with the federal government. It was 23andMe, whereby they will be providing their DNA information to the federal government as well.
So which is why I haven't done it. So you on record now, Patty?
Well, I mean, she's in the military
anyway. Because I'm in the military. So let me go through the crime. They gonna be right at my doorstep. But what I will say is, and this is again a catch-22 because as a Black person, but I'm also a civil servant and I'm in the military, I always have these things in the back of my mind. I was raised up on the Tuskegee experiment. I knew what that was. And so whenever they're like, oh, we have to give you these immunizations and it's mandatory or we're going to put you out the Air Force, it's like, I don't know. So when it's stuff like that, I always feel for my people because I always have this reluctance. Like, I know what the government does. And it goes even beyond the Tuskegee experiment. They gave children in foster homes, it was a part of the Quaker meal study. They gave them radioactive oatmeal. And we're talking about babies. They did experiments on pregnant mothers with x-rays and stuff like that before we knew what the causes of x-rays were. So, our government is, although I'm a servant of the government, it's like, I don't trust it either. And anytime anyone asks me offline what I think about a particular study, I'm like, listen, don't do nothing until you can find out what the receipts are. If you, like when, what was it? The HPV vaccine came out and people were asking me what I thought about it. I was like, nope, don't do it until you hear one of those commercials that says, if you've ever taken the HPV, blah, 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 call Johnson & Johnson or Michael & Michael or whatever. No, don't do anything until you know what the results are. Get that first wave of results before you take the vaccine or before you participate in the study, because they love testing on us. And they come to the minority communities first. When they tested birth control, where did they go? Puerto Rico. Did you know how many, women of color they sterilized testing birth control? And they did that before they made it mainstream for white women and everyone else. They tested on people of color first. And that is the history. When we talk about
slavery, slavery, the history of gynecology, a Black woman with no medication on the table, like, oh, it's cool because she don't feel pain. Black women don't feel pain, and they still feel like that today. You go to the hospital and give birth. Oh, you're cool. They don't listen to what we say. oh no, you're gonna be okay.
Yes.
No, it's fine. You'll be fine.
And I hate
I told you,
y'all, but they feel like we don't feel pain, we don't feel anything, so they tested on our communities first. So if anybody's listening to us, if they come knock on your door, open it, hi, close it like it's a Jehovah's Witness. I'm sorry. Next.
Hello.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that because, well, number one, forgive me for geeking out, but number one, there is no indication or guarantee whatsoever that these tests that are being taken are going to be protected federally by the Health Information Protection Act of America.
Mm-hmm.
So while if you get tested for COVID and an antibody test through your physician, like I did, that is privileged information. I have to be suspected of a federal crime before the government has access to that information. This shit has no regulations on it whatsoever. They could turn around and take your DNA and your kids' DNA and give it to the police. They could build data. They could build a database somewhere where they're just ready to lock up niggas whenever they feel like it. And oh shit, now they got your DNA.
Sprinkle it.
I feel like what's the lady's name where they took her cells? What's the lady where they took her cells at Johns Hopkins and Oprah made the film on it? Henrietta Lacks. Yes, her. I feel like it's the same thing. Like, let's take this DNA, let's go test it in the lab and see what happens when we put this little antivirus shit in it, and let's figure out what happens with it. I feel like that's what some shit is going to happen. Because as much as I want to believe that there's a COVID outside, and I know that there's some type of pandemic and there's some type of virus, like, remember a couple episodes ago, Patty, we said, I was like, oh, so how hot it's got to be for the virus to, die and we be good again? He was like, oh no, CDC said the virus can live in heat. How the fuck you know that? Because I thought you were supposed to sterilize equipment at a certain temperature and then we was good, we was going to be virus free. So how the fuck this one going to survive through it?
Well, because their idea was if it's surviving in warm climates, like in places like the continent of Africa, then summer, people think summer comes here and it'll, burn out or somehow sterilize the. That's not how it works.
They real fishy. So this whole let me come to your house and get your DNA.
The myth behind that is that, for example, the influenza virus and other COVID types of viruses, such as, for example, the common cold. Yes, the common cold is a type of coronavirus. Mm-hmm. But at any rate, those viruses are not as airborne and communicable during warm temperatures because they cannot survive. The droplets in the air evaporate too fast, and thus the virus is not as communicable in warmer temperatures as it is in cooler temperatures. That works for the common cold, which is why statistically motherfuckers in Africa and in warmer climates don't get shit like the common cold and influenza like we do here in our northern climates. However, COVID-19 is different. It just, it is what it is. Like, it was all over. It's all over Africa. It's all over Australia. It's all over southern China. It's all over the Pacific Islands, Korea, Taiwan, Indonesia, India. This virus is something different.
So let me speak out of turn, y'all. But when it comes to our CDC, and I know that they're supposed to be the end all be all on what we do, but let me be clear when I say they do not know. And the reason I can say that they do not know is because the team that I'm on right now regarding COVID-19, it's a pandemic response team. And everything we do changes weekly. Everything that they say we're supposed to do, the guidance, the guidelines, and it's not just what goes out to the rest of Americans. It's what we're doing as a military. One minute it's you got to wear your mask. 1 minute you got to wear gloves. You got to do this. You got to do that. The next week it's, oh, well, that didn't seem to work, or it doesn't seem to be on surfaces as long as we thought it was, or it's not transmitted like this. Y'all, if the military don't know, and we're following CDC guidance, I'm telling you, the CDC don't know.
Excellent point, and I'm glad you shared that. And I'm glad you shared that with your particular credentials, because that's some good shit. Hope y'all are listening to that. We don't know. I'll tell you this really quickly because we got to move on. But I'm taking 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C every day. I'm taking vitamin D3. I'm drinking tea. I am lemon, lime in my tea, orange, citrus.
That's why his voice sounds like that, y'all. It's that citrus. And make sure it drops your bass a little. It drops the bass like two tones lower. You gotta take that citrus. Oh. He got that Rick Ross. Oh. Do it for me, no.
Hey, you know, for those that don't know, I used to rap. And I remember whenever I meet anybody in Atlanta and I was playing my music before I retired, they're like, "You sound like Rick Ross." I'm like, I've been rapping for 15 years before Rick Ross had a record deal, so I don't sound like him. But yeah, I get it. So
sound good to me.
We gotta thank you for your service. We gotta you guys understand what it's doing to people mentally. I had heard stories where it's driving people crazy. They're hallucinating and they're freaking out. One dude was punching walls in his house, losing it. So there is a mental aspect to a mental component to the dance. I don't know if that's being put out there a lot, but we're gonna put it out there. You guys can do your own research.
Well, yeah, and just to tag on to that new though, look at domestic violence and domestic abuse numbers because they are on the rise significantly right now.
I think that's mainly due to the quarantine. Niggas is in the house, this mad.
Yeah,
and taking it out, of course, the wrong way.
Separation and divorce rates are going to rise. They're suspecting because a lot of these domestic violence cases, like you said, are due to quarantine situations where people have been isolated together. So, if you're feeling some type of way, and I just got to say this, new, because it's important, if you're frustrated or depressed, if you're having trouble getting out of bed and plugging in your laptop and going to work, if you feel overly frustrated at your spouse or the people that you are isolated with, there are institutions, there are organizations out there who do provide help. They provide it free of charge right now. Most major medical programs are offering behavioral telemedicine right now, free of charge in addition. So I just want to say that there is help out there. If you're going through something, number one, you're not alone. And number two, there is help available for you. And if you need help and guidance with that, get at us and we will provide it because that's something that I am very, very well informed of.
Absolutely. And it's also the Fuck Depression group on Facebook that I created a few years back, FUK Depression. And we're there for you. And all of our, I don't want to say our depressed people, but all of our fighters, we there.
Tag that in the comments. Tag that in the comments so we can.
I'll tag it in the comments. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. The last checkup I did on there was about 2 days ago. So we check in with each other pretty often, try to. I want to go through the next couple kind of quick because that door-to-door one, it was a doozy. I didn't think that was going to be the one that got us talking, but it did. Our Donald Don't Be Dumb Award, really quickly, we're going to give it to Governor Kemp of Georgia. They fuzz the numbers, so they do daily statistics of the new outbreaks, you call it outbreak? New infections?
No,
okay.
Right.
And so they switched the dates out so that it looked like they went by the number of infections. So if it was 100 this day, 90 this day, 80 this day, they did that irregardless of the date. So the date for the 100 could be May 1st. The date for 90 could be April 1st. The date for 70 could be April 13th. So it paints a picture that the deaths or the infection rates are going down when in all actuality the dates are all out of order. And we know what the fuck you was trying to do. So don't be dumb. Donald, and this award is named after Donald Trump. So it used to be called, it was the first called the Kanye West Shut Up Stupid Award.
Whoa.
Then it was called the Donald Trump Shut Up Stupid Award. And now it's called the Donald Don't Be Dumb Award. Shout out to top people niggas for that Don't Be Dumb movement. Don't be a dummy. So that first goes to Governor Kemp. I don't know if we need to any thoughts on that.
I don't think we need any thoughts on that. I feel like it is what it is. You heard what he did.
Keep it moving.
You know what he was trying to do.
Keep it moving. Yeah.
Go ahead.
John K. Stahl rose to prominence this week. He had a senatorial run back in 2012 Other than that, he's been like a West Limbaugh that's out here talking shit. But he kept a little bit of prominence this week because Donald Trump retweeted about 6 of his tweets. And he also tweeted amongst that collection that with Joe Biden putting his foot in his mouth, he's going to have to go and pick Shamu to be his vice president to make up for it. Shamu is supposed to be the lovely Stacey Abrams, out Georgia's own. I'm really getting tired of niggas thinking they can just, not niggas, but people thinking they can say whatever the fuck they want about black women and just call them ugly and talk about their hair. All that shit about to stop. Me and JB been banging on y'all for years, and we ain't gonna stop. So John K. Starr, fuck you, your mother, your girlfriend, and your mistress, and your boyfriend. We're not having it. You're not gonna be talking about black women like that. Not my Stacey.
Real talk.
Not my Stacey.
Real talk.
JB?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna give you a chance to cuss him out real quick, JB.
Please do, because I like that black men is taking up for black women right now. So I'm gonna say that. We
he drops into my list, and the way I describe this list, it changes for me, but it's when I see that motherfucker. It's my when I see that motherfucker list. If I see that motherfucker on the street, there will be no conversation, no discussion, no warning. The beatdown will start, and then the beatdown will finish. Like that. That's what it is. And this list now includes Donald J. Trump, fucking John Stahl, and a couple of other people.
Love to see it. Love to hear it.
Fuck you, fuck you, nigga. And I use that word pejoratively, intentionally. Like I don't mean black or white. I mean, nigga, I'ma fuck you up. Because that's some fucked up shit you just said. That's some Bama shit. We're not tolerating that shit.
Use words pejoratively. Why you always be pejoratively using words and shit?
I like that word. Come on, David. You got it.
I don't know what the fuck that word means. This motherfucking Harvard graduate always got some fucking word. What does it mean? This is the Gangsta Geek word of the week. What the fuck is pejoratively, JB?
Well, pejorative is when you use a word intentionally to make a negative comment about somebody. So am I using the word nigga there? I'm saying that he is the worst of people. And so that's what I mean by using the word pejorative.
Thank you for the lesson, because I would have just sat here too, like, okay, it sounds good.
Yeah, they always pejoratively doing shit. Hey, Burger said, "Stop banging the table, nigga."
Yeah, I be getting a little pissed off. I can't help it. This type of shit makes me angry.
And thank you for posting the fuck depression tag in there, Patty. Let's move on. Let's get some people their flowers. We're going to our Nipsey Hussle Award, formerly our Grind and Shine Award, but once the brother Nipsey passed last year, he changed it to commemorate him, one of my favorite rappers of all time. So the Nipsey Hussle Award this week goes to a couple people. One is a rapper. One is Quavo from the Migos. And this was the biggest, best surprise I saw on my timeline this week. I'm just scrolling, just seeing everybody talk about graduation and all this fun shit. And I see a picture of Quavo, multi-millionaire rapper Quavo, who completed his high school GED.
Get into it, baby. Get into it. Love to see it.
Like, it just says a lot about him that he did it, man. Because once you make a couple $1 million, what's the point? A high school diploma ain't gonna get you no more money. But I was sure it was like his grandmother, his mother, maybe his girl said, "Baby, just get it, just do it." Or maybe it was just deep in him, something that he always wanted to go back and do. I don't care why he did it. I just feel damn proud that he did it. And I know the high school diploma ain't the biggest thing in the world, but man, fuck that. He put in the effort to get it done, and I salute him. Salute you, young fella.
So it's not the biggest thing in the world, but I feel like it's pretty big, because not having your high school diploma stops you in a lot of ways.
That's what she said.
Yeah, like it really does. Like, there's a lot of things you can't even apply for if you don't have that. So I'm glad he got it. I think you need to do that. What if you need to do something, whether it be your GED or your high school diploma, you need to go get something.
So this is the difference between a humble brag and an unnecessary brag. So Ari and I talked about this maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, where a homeboy, and let me preface this by saying I found out about Quavo and his high school diploma negatively. I found out about it because there were women that I follow who were roasting him. Oh, he's 29 and he's just now getting his diploma. Oh my gosh, where in what world is that a kudos, right? And I said, hold on, wait a minute. The only reason y'all are saying that is because you perceive him as hood. That's number one. Number two, let's not forget, or let's recall, because a lot of people don't know this, but our Queen Bee, Beyonce, got a GED at 30. So let's not knock Quavo for getting his high school diploma at 29 when we're always celebrating Beyonce, who got a GED at 30. And that's no shade to my baby Beyonce, but that's just to say sometimes it's respectability politics. We lower somebody because they speak with a certain vernacular, they dress a certain way, or they carry themselves a certain way. And then we big up somebody else because we respect them more. So that's number one. Number two, a couple weeks ago, there was a gentleman who went to some law school and he was bragging, but his brag was at the expense of the Black women that I assume wouldn't date him. He was talking about how he was the prize and all these Black women, need to, fall in line kind of because, he now has the master's degree and he's, a law student or whatever. And he was equating his law degree with his value and his worth romantically. And my only point is that was, yes, getting your law degree was amazing, but that has nothing to do with, because he downed men who had kids, you got baby mama drama and blah, 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 blah. Listen, I actually value a man who has a baby mama and baby mama drama and still went and got a law degree, because that means to me, you can put things into perspective and you can prioritize. If you have no kids, it's very easy to, I'm not going to say very easy, but it's easier to go and get a law degree.
Absolutely.
Like he downed a whole group of people. He downed a couple of groups of people to uplift himself, and then he went and failed the bar. Meanwhile, Quavo is a millionaire, didn't need any kind of degree to do it, and went back to high school just to get a diploma. That's a different type of brag. So I'm uplifting Quavo, and I'm uplifting any man who's out here doing things to better himself for himself, and not because he needs to shit on everybody else. And the same thing for the women in our community as well.
Boom.
Yeah, he was just sitting there with a smile on his face. He's happy to have done it. I applaud. It made my soul feel good. And I think more people are in support of him than are against it. I mean, like, what's to be against, man? Like, chill out. Our second award, JB, goes to your mentor, Magic Johnson, who Magic Johnson educated JB on safe sex his entire life. So that's somebody he's always followed.
Daddy figure. Love it.
That might be a bad example.
Jesus Christ. What?
What Magic do, JB?
This guy. Go ahead, Noob.
All right, so Magic is offering $100 million to small businesses, minority-owned businesses in America, to kind of help bail them out from this economic recession we're in due to COVID-19. And he's offering up $100 million. I don't think it's all coming out of his pocket, but he has created the trust where the money is now there, and he can just give it out. So I'm going to say, Magic, thank you. I'll probably kick back and use some of that money. We can get some more mugs and pay for more abortions. So we're just going to apply and see what we got to do. What you guys think about Magic offering up $100 million to minority businesses during this time?
Well, I thought it was a great idea until you said you was going to use yours to pay for the abortions.
No, I didn't say abortions. I said a portion.
Oh, a portion. A portion of what?
I don't know.
I was.
You're breaking up again. Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now?
No, I can't hear you. No.
A portion.
a portion of abortions, all that. So I think that's a beautiful thing because a lot of businesses, especially small businesses, are suffering right now. And we complain that people who have money, who comment on our communities, don't give back to our communities. And here's a man who is giving back. So there's nothing you can do but love that.
Yeah. I agree wholeheartedly. I want to. Do you guys have any comments about the Magic Johnson giving back? Anything you want to add?
I just think it was a good idea.
Quavo. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let's move on. We'll get into our section relationship portion of the show.
Been waiting all night for this.
I know.
Wait, before we get into that, because what was the last section? What was the last section called? I just want to make sure.
Nipsey Hussle
Award.
Oh, okay. Do we have anything that's an award for dumbasses?
We already did that.
Yeah, the Donald Don't Be Dumb Award.
Okay, can we add this to the Donald Don't Be Dumb Award?
Who
our sis, I'm sorry I have to do this, but Doja Cat.
What she do?
What did she do?
So apparently, okay, so back in the day, she used the F word in a derogatory manner. Now, I can't speak to this because she claimed to be a part of the LGBTQIA family. So I don't know what level of, acceptance there is for using that word. However, she's
fag. She said fag.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I thought you meant F word as in fuck. I was saying I said that 20 times already.
No.
Okay.
So, but they found her on 4chan streams that are filled with racist white men who are into a certain type of play that I would say falls along the lines of BDSM, but it's like a racism play where she talks about Black people disparagingly, and those receipts have surfaced on social media. And some other things where she was talking about how she's thankful for being light-skinned, and wouldn't it be great to be white? Wouldn't life be so much better? And listen, I just came around because when I first heard of her, I heard about the Moose song, and I was like, who the fuck is this with the Moose song talking about cows? I was not a fan, but then she did other things, and I was like, oh, okay, I like her. Then, this whole, she made the Billboard charts, and there was some beef between her and the other girls and Lana Del Rey. And some of her white fans were like, oh, if you're going to talk about our white queen, Lana, here are the receipts on you, sis. And she's just not looking real good out here in these streets. So, she's on the sick and shut in list. I don't know if she can recover from this, but we're going to send some prayers up for her and give her this dummy award for this week.
Yeah, I'm going to take her off my spank bank.
Listen, she's on somebody's spank bank. It might not be Black men, but
she was on mine. I'm taking her off now. I wish I could take back all those nuts. She gave me.
No, I don't.
Let's really get into it. Let's get into it, because what is really going on in this quarantine life of yours, New? What is, baby? Please go see somebody.
Nothing's going on. I'm sitting here by my. I haven't had interaction, with the exception of seeing JB and the fellas yesterday, and starting at the office last week. I haven't had any interaction with a human. I haven't really touched another human. Like it's crazy.
Look, whoever is watching this and you mess with New on a SAG, because I'm in Virginia now. Look, send me your quarantine questions. I'm gonna make sure you straight, and slide over to my man's house tonight, because something is going on. He needs some interaction. Touch him or something.
He ain't the only one though. He ain't the only one.
Go to my homeboy JB too, and we gonna have to get it right, because y'all out here in a drought. Y'all real future out here thought it was a drought.
Yeah. The questions are going to be key though. Like the answers to those questions are the reason why.
What is your temperature? Where have you been in the last 24 hours?
Right.
Yeah, right. I got you. I'm gonna send you the list.
I'm calling people like, hey, what's up? What you doing? No. Where you at? I'm at the mall. The mall? What the fuck are you doing at the mall? Okay, call me. That was Monday. Maybe she's tripping. Hey, this second back with you today. What you doing? Nothing out here in these streets. You in the streets? Where you at? I'm at this festival. Bitch, we're in lockdown. It's called 10. Why you up? You know what? Where my Doja Cat video? Where my lotion? Where my lotion and my Doja Cat video? I'm not doing this with y'all.
No,
I'm not doing it.
Listen, I'm not worried about Corona at y'all malls. I'm worried about getting shot because I went to visit y'all malls like 2-3 months ago. Well, whenever Corona was not outside, I dropped by Atlanta and went to Lenox Mall. And a couple hours after I left the mall, there was a shootout in the parking lot. I'm not worried about Corona. I'm worried about the gas.
Okay,
She said the gas.
Get the gas.
Hey, and on my end. Oh, okay.
I have a real question for you. Because I'm listening to your story. I'm like, yeah, niggas shooting. I know she get crazy and Corona and all that shit. But like the most important part of it, I'm like, oh shit. Like, this is really real. You were in Atlanta 2-3 months ago and didn't let us know?
Right.
I know,
Right.
y'all. And I feel so guilty because I knew I was going to talk about it tonight. But it was an in and out. I was there. I was out. But when I
perfected the in and out.
Yeah, I was about to say, in and out doesn't sound like an issue at all.
We're arguing about portions and abortions right now.
Huh. You right, sis, because he tried to throw that one in there. You ain't perfected. Yeah. Let's go ask Puerto Rico for the birth control because you ain't perfect that. Baby, you ain't perfect that. Why? Hold on.
Let's see what comments we have.
Moving on. Moving on.
They out there in the streets, burgers and ATL out in the streets. So, Chatty Patty, let's get into our relationship sex talk. Do you want to introduce our topics here and kind of put it together for everybody?
Well, I don't know how to introduce it, but I will say since Corona has been outside acting like a little biatch, a lot of us have not had any hands-on physical touch. And I was telling my homegirl Ari because, you know, Ari is like, listen, she's very physical. And I've been celibate. I'm cool with it. I had a little action and I was good. And Ari ain't know nothing about that life. So I said, sis, you just got to get you a little bob. She was like, what's a bob? I said, little bob, you know, little battery operated boyfriend. I'm going to send you some batteries and you're going to be good. So I think she ordered something. I don't know if it has arrived yet, but it let me.
No, it's here.
We're going to ask that in a minute. So I always wondered, do men feel intimidated by battery operated boyfriends, a little bob, a little vibrator, a little yin yang yang around the house? And if so, why? Because those things should be incorporated in the bedroom because it's fun to me by myself. And if I were with someone and played with those things, I think it would be hella fun.
So what I got to do when we're going to play with it together with the guy? What we doing? Y'all answer the question first because we're going to have to get to me the next
I'll tell you how to, girl, it's fun. Anyway.
If you with me, we're going to play with it together. But to answer the overall question, I don't have an issue with toys. I'm into a few different kinks and shit. So I have a slightly different perspective than most men. But I love whatever makes you feel. I do it this way, and I've said it a billion times, but I haven't said to y'all, so I'm gonna say it now. But all the kickbackers gonna be like, he's gonna say it again. I gotta say it again because they don't know. I have an orgasm fetish, meaning I get off on a woman's orgasm. Like when I watch porn, I only watch orgasm porn. If the woman doesn't come, I can't come. So I like watching amateur. My favorite category is ebony amateur orgasm because that's what get me right. So if a woman has a toy that does something for her. Let me change it up for it. So if a woman has a toy.
Oh, come on, baby, talk to me. What we talking about now? What we saying? If he do
that toy brings her to a certain level of pleasure, a certain level of ecstasy, and then I can contribute to that. So we're working together as a team.
A team.
I look at the toy, team. I look at the toy as like my Scottie Pippen. I know I'm Michael Jordan, so I'm not worried about the toy being in the bedroom. That's my Scottie Pippen. Sometimes he got to play defense while I drop these buckets. When I take it to the hole, he got to dribble the ball. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it. So I'm
That's
not
how you
really
look at
worried
it?
about it. I look at it. Now,
Rich, I need to see what he was talking about, sis. I need to see what he was saying.
now, I will say this: if it's something that she wants to go inside, I don't. That's where it would be like, well, I'm kind of here. But if we're doing double penetration, then I could be like, okay, she wants that, and I'll be cool with that. But if the only way I would feel away, I think, is if it's like she wanted to spend more time with like maybe the dildo or something, like something internally, then I'll be like, well, damn, nigga. But other than that, let's bring all that shit. I'll go get my box right now with all my shit in it. You know what I'm saying? And show you the toys that I bring to the table. So like and this is a podcast. We do politics, music, sex, sports. We talk about it all. And we just did Jay's podcast last night where it was Ask a Guy About Sex. And me and JB were the guys that you asked about sex. So we just had women asking us a bunch of questions. And we did that last night off the late night. You know what I'm saying?
Did you put my love voice on?
I had to.
Okay, fair enough. So what I will say is this. I like a little zzz around the way, okay? I love it. It's great. Now, if you incorporate that while you're getting some penetration, and I'm saying this for Ari, because Ari was like, "What? How you gonna do that?"
I had to hit my homegirl who was a pure romance consultant, so shout out to her. And I said, "So what is this? Let me go try it." And I bought tongue tied, and let's just say a bitch has been living her best life. Okay,
that's the one that sucks.
No.
I know
that's the one you just sit it right there, just sit it. And
I've not ordered. Listen, I've not ordered the suction one because I've read the reviews. There's chicks falling out the bed, getting cramps.
Bitch, that's what I need. That's what I need.
But look, that's not the proper name. It's not called the suction one. It's called the new. No. It's called the new. They call that the new.
Do they? Why they call it the new? Talk to me, baby. Why they call it the new?
I will show you, but all the fellas that's watching are like, no, stop. We're tired of your shit. Change your voice.
I'm not tired of it. So fuck them niggas. I'm not tired of it. What we say? Why they call it the new?
Hey, all the fellas look away. All the fellas look at something else.
Why they call it the new?
Up or down.
What they talking about, baby? What they talking about?
Listen, save that for the after show. What I will say is, fellas, there is nothing wrong with your length, with your stroke, nothing like that. If a woman wants to incorporate a toy, there's nothing like that going on. Feel confident in what you have. All I'm saying is a little zzz on the clit will take you over that edge.
Baby, because tongue tie takes me over.
It's good for you and it's good for her because what you're feeling is that suction that when she tightens up, and what she's feeling is a bunch of different releases. It's because women have different types of orgasm. We have clitoral orgasms. We have G-spot orgasms.
Talk about it.
Yeah, they're all fabulous. All of them
are great.
Women have amazing anal orgasms.
I don't know about that. I can't speak to that.
I can't either. I don't know.
Yeah, all of them are great. I've been known to buy special ladies toys. Like going toy shopping with your special lady is a lot of fun.
Come on, Mr. Gray. What you doing, Mr. Gray?
Tell them about Tokyo Valentino. Going to them stores. Let them know, JB.
Yeah, man. Going shopping for a toy. That's a lot of fun. You get to try it out later.
Listen, ladies, don't sleep on the nerds. I'm gonna let they know how to
we can get into stats like what's the RPM on that motherfucker.
Listen, watch how your man ties a bow tie or their necktie. That'll tell you a lot about your man. I'm just saying. But anyway, go ahead, JB.
I know several different knots for a necktie. I'm just saying. Let's have it.
We did a video. I posted a video from a clip of my personal fantasy that I've never done. People have done it. A lot of people have done it. On my list, number one as of right now is going out to dinner and using the wireless remote control panties, where you can have on your app on your phone and be zinging it all night. That's number one on my list, right? So I found a video of a chick. Not that I knew, but a chick that I follow on social media, they did it. And I spliced it into a 60-second clip. And I was like, this will be my next fucking date. And I posted it. Me posting that has 120,000 views right now. So obviously people like that idea too. And that is when I go the next time I go to Tokyo Valentino, the number one thing on my list is the vibrating panties that I can control with my iPhone. And I'm gonna
see. That's not gonna be good for me because after the first thing you do, we go into the bathroom. I don't give a who the fuck is in there. We about to get this shit popping. I'm not about to sit there all night and let you play with me like that. Fuck out of here.
No,
Get out.
actually, I don't have a problem with going to the bathroom, but you're not in control. You're not the one that's in control, though. I'm in control.
Who ain't?
So you would.
Who ain't?
Hold on. Let me fix it. Let me fix it.
Baby, welcome to the world of Airy. I'm always in control.
You will do what the fuck I say.
You heard what I said.
And I will let you. I will let you come when I'm ready for you to come.
Oh.
So let me
the first slide. We get the fuck up out this table and let's go.
Let me run this by my boo is watching. I'm gonna let him know. Don't try that shit with me because it is not gonna be sexy. I'm gonna kick all this shit over.
Fuck this dinner. The fuck about this dinner?
This table going flying. The water, the whole setup. Don't do that shit with me.
Send the check. Send the fucking check because he playing about the wrong shit.
Do it.
Send the check.
Do it.
Sounds like a hell of a night. It all sounds like a lot of fun.
We can picked about this bitch.
Get the goddamn table over. That just means we need a private dining setting.
Hello.
I'm okay with that.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like teasing is fun, right? I really enjoy it. But you don't know that it's working until you get hit. Until you get up. You go, oh yeah, I got her now. Because she can't take it no more. Now she's trying to fight you and shit. So I'm like, yeah, I got you.
Not a bad thing.
Well, I'm getting hot, Bob. You see the shoulder coming out the shirt? Let me pull up.
Uh-oh. Let me see the shoulder. Let me see that shoulder.
You want to see that?
Oh. Yep.
Just a little bit.
Right there.
Oh.
So, Patty, what else we got? Did Jamie answer the question about toys? We figured that out. We all into it. No issues.
No issues here.
I think my girl frozen.
Oh, okay. Well, she'll be back in a second. She probably stopped to talk to her boo. Like, boo, I do want you to do that. I said, hey, don't do it, but I do want it.
Yeah, she'll definitely be back. I think the next thing she wanted to talk about was, do you think single mothers get a bad rep when it comes to relationships? Do like men value the single mother? Stemming from the whole Russell, Sierra, Future scandal this week, where it was baby Future's birthday, and Russell came out swinging, of course, with his Daddy of the Year post, and he called himself Little Future's daddy.
Okay, I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at Patty said, we got a computer too hot. The computer got so hot.
Log in from your phone and stop playing, girl. Come back.
So she's trying to come back. But the computer overloaded. So maybe she'll come back with her phone. We'll see what happens. But go ahead and finish. So, Future, Russell Wilson, here she come.
All right, sis, I kind of teed him up. I said, Russell this week, he was playing Daddy of the Year, per usual. And he mentioned, he was Little Future's daddy in his post. So are single mothers valued in this dating game? Like, is it taboo to date a single mom and step in and play the role? What are we talking about?
I'm gonna let you go first, JB.
Single mothers are definitely not devalued from my perspective. Honestly, I don't even understand where that comes from. Speaking as a single father, how the fuck would I possibly devalue single mothers? You know what I'm saying? That's a part of what's going on in 2020 right now. Like if you're looking at single mothers any kind of way,
too hot.
That doesn't make any sense to me because you're on the same wavelength that I'm.
My computer melted. That's not okay.
Like that doesn't even make any sense. Like niggas need to. I think all of us need to let go of that kind of bullshit because being a single parent is just being like normal right now in 2020. So I don't understand that because I love single mothers. Like they're that's right in my lane. Like right where I want to be.
Yeah. I didn't really understand the question of it. Maybe it's just for young guys.
Right.
Because I looked at the question, I was like, nigga, I'm a motherfucker. Literally, I'm a motherfucker. I'm a Bernie man. Motherfucker. I'm a motherfucker. So I didn't even get it. Most of the women I date are single mothers. Some of them are married, but some of them are single mothers. We'll get into that later because righteous ratchet, whatever. But I don't really want to come across women who are single and don't have kids. Not in my age range. I'm 44, so I don't really unless I'm trying to date a 20-something, which I've been known to do. But other
Said
than
you be
that,
known 20-something? That's okay with you?
it was in the past.
Oh, okay.
They're so adventurous. But now I think you got to be at least 30-ish, 30, at least as old as Jesus, I think. You ain't got to be 33. If you about 33, I might give you a shot. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm going much younger than that. Why you laughing, JB?
All right.
Why you laughing? Hold on. How old are you?
I'll be 29 in July.
Ooh, I like that voice though.
I always get in trouble, JB, with these goddamn 20-somethings.
So
Yeah.
you gonna change the standard for me? You gonna change your criteria for me or what?
We'll talk about it.
I think we might need to lower that threshold a little bit. I'm just saying.
Big Brother said I need to lower the threshold, so that's my counsel. So we'll figure it out. So anyway, we have single mothers of rock stars. We made Patty computer too hot. Jeremy said, "Why does he say that like that?" All right. You need to change your tone because you're getting the fellas all hot and bothered.
My fault.
Wait, can we go back real quick?
Go back, sis.
Can we double back? Because he says single mothers are rock stars. And I want to challenge that because I keep seeing one single mother who I think is a rock star get a lot of shit. And I don't understand it. My baby Sierra. Sierra gets so much stuff.
She's a married woman.
Well, not anymore. She's not a single. She's not a single mother anymore. However, there are a group of men who dislike that Russell chose her because they view her as a single mother and as used goods because she used to date Future and she used to date Bow Wow and she used to date 50 Cent. And mind you, the men that she's dated, that we've known that she's dated publicly, I think it may be 3 or 4 that we've known of, and she gets a bad rap, and I don't really understand that. And I'm trying to understand it because I'm no longer a single mother either, but at one point I was a single mother, and I can understand, if Sierra ain't getting chosen or if men look at her a certain way, I can only imagine how they viewed me.
I want to jump in right there. Anybody looking at Sierra and saying she's a single mother, so I don't want her, in my opinion, they just fucking stupid. Yep. Now, I didn't like the way she conducted herself.
Why?
The way she conducted herself bothered me because she was still bitter over Future. So when they were at award shows and she had to introduce him as one of the category people, she wouldn't say his name. And I forget who stood next to her. She was like, and the next nominee for Rap Artist of the Year is, I'm not saying it. And it was like be professional, shorty. And then the dude next to her had to go Future with Free Band, something. And that was grow up, shorty. Grow up. Just say the fucking name and move on. You ain't got to throw a temper tantrum on stage. It was childish to me. Now, that has nothing to do with her being a single mother. The way she incorporated Russell Wilson into Baby Future's life so soon felt wrong. And it felt wrong. It was wrong. But then they got married, and now it makes sense. I'm like, oh, Future loves that baby. Well, hold on. I'm not done. I know what you want to do, but I've had this argument 80 times.
You don't know. Go ahead.
I already know. So I respect Russell Wilson, and I respect his connection to Baby Future. And I'm not threatened by it. I embrace it. I've been a stepdad, not through marriage, but through just love. So I've been Russell Wilson. So I don't knock Russell. Really in any category. The only thing that I thought was weird was when Future said that Russell didn't have a conversation with him. I've gone to the father of the girl of the baby, you know, that I was step in dad role, and been like, how you feel about this? How you feel about that? Would you be cool with this? Would you not be cool with that?
Baby,
I'm
you're an
gonna the fuck
outlier.
up.
Honey, you're an outlier, okay? Because a lot of men won't do that. A lot of men ain't gonna go have that conversation with the person's other parent. They're not gonna do it. They feel uncomfortable. They don't want to be in the same room. I've had
But,
to
but see,
make, I've had to
but,
make,
but
I've
I
had
don't.
to make a man be like, look, you're going to be around my child. Okay. So you need to know who that child's daddy is because I don't feel comfortable having you here. And Avery knows you. Avery is my oldest daughter. She knows who you are. She talks about you. I don't feel comfortable with her going back and say, oh, well, such and such was here today, daddy. And you don't know who that person is. Just that's the
Oh
same
yeah.
way as if you have a girl around my child. It's no tea, no shade to her, but I need to meet her. If y'all serious enough for her to be around my child, I need to know who she is. Because if Avery ever comes back
Facts.
and says, Miss Lady did such and such, I need to know who I'm pulling up on, straight and facts. Or I need to know who I'm, saying good job to because you treat her as if I'm there and you're stepping in and you're playing the role. It's no shade. But a lot of men
I
don't
got
see
a
it that way. A lot of men don't want to be in that whole picture. They feel uncomfortable having any type of co-parenting or co-mingling relationship with the other person, the other party involved.
see
And that's
that
that's a
I
lot of the reason why my previous when I was dating, why those relationships didn't work. Because me and my ex-husband are really good friends. And we co-parent just like that. We talk about the kids. I ask him, when we were just still friends, I asked him how he was doing, how life is going, because at the end of the day, if mentally or physically he's not good, he's not going to be good for our children. And those are things that I need to know. And even though we were divorced, I cared about him. So I cared about his well-being, not just for the kids, but for him too. And when I was dating, men were so intimidated by that. And he had moved on. He was dating somebody else. We were talking back and forth, and I was giving him tips about his relationship. He was actually straightening me up and telling me how I could be better for my relationship. But men were so intimidated by that because I think in our communities, we're so used to dysfunction and we're so used to people having drama that when it's normal or when it's healthy, it's like, oh, so y'all still fucking, huh?
Mm-hmm.
okay. I agree with that to an extent. It's just not my experience. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that has bit me in the ass before, being like, oh, we're all grown and da-da-da, and they were doing some shit. It wasn't just about being grown. I thought because I'm grown and I look at things in a grown way, they're grown, they're doing. No, they were still doing shit. And then I've been in situations where they weren't. I had a girl who I dated. I was very serious about her and her child. I really felt like I was stepdad, and I met her baby's father in that context. I talk to him more now than I talk to her or the kid. That's my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like it can go either way.
But that's how it should be.
Um,
Y'all should be that cool because I need to feel comfortable with my child being around you. I need to know that you're going to treat my child no different when I'm not there. Like you got to step in. I don't want you to ever say that you're the father because you're not, or that you're the mother because you're not. Because I'm the child's mother. But I need her to be that comfortable with you at all
I
times.
agree. I agree. And this is some real shit. I'm gonna give very vague details. Um, the baby father knew how involved I was in his child's life, and we were out somewhere, and some dudes was trying to jump me, and he jumped in this shit because I don't think he did it because I'm a great person. I think he did it because he like that motherfucker watches my child. That motherfucker got my child back. That motherfucker
Right.
loved my baby. Like I fuck
Right.
with him. And he
Mm-hmm.
was like, nah, I ain't going down if I'm here. And I was just like, oh shit. Like, okay. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think as adults, that's how it should go. When people speak about how it does go or the other side, I'm like, I believe you. But it's just not my experience because I ain't that type of nigga. So like, I love single women. Single women are preferred. You know what I'm saying?
I hope
Single
so.
mothers. Right. Single mothers. I don't
Let me
have.
go on a
My mother
Delta
was
app right now and see if I can get to Atlanta this weekend.
we gonna set that up.
Y'all ain't
Single
got no
mother.
sense.
Let me see if I can go over there.
My mother was a single mother. What the hell?
Hmm. So I want to piggyback off of what Kenneth said. Your friend Kenneth said, let's be clear. If you if you are a mother and the kid's father is in their life, you are not a single mother. You're just single. To an extent,
Whoa,
I
whoa.
hold on. To an extent, I agree with that. However, there is a difference between having like being an active part of your child's life, meaning you see them every weekend or you pay your child support on time, right? Whereas mothers, we wake up, go to sleep, have to take days off because we're the primary caregiver. So if somebody's sick, we got to come home from work. Like there is a complete difference when you are a mother and you're doing it outside of the relationship and you are the primary caregiver. I get that, fathers are present in whatever capacity that they're present in. And I understand that a lot of men feel like, no, you're just single. Yes, but my children's father is very, very present, but he was in Italy at one point and in Korea at one point, and I was physically here while he was present in every other way. Never had to ask for anything financially. I still had to hold it down physically alone. And so I get that, but I think that kind of is dismissive of mothers who still have to do it physically alone, because no shade to him or anyone else, but when them babies wake up in the middle of the night, I'm the one that's up in the middle of the night. When changing diapers and everything else, it all fell on me. And that's no disrespect to him because he's active duty military. So it's not like he was taken away because he wanted to. He had to go. He had no choice. But it is a little dismissive of the mothers that really have to hold it down and pave the way for their children on their own and have to, bury or burden that stress that comes along with parenting when the parents or when the father is not in the home. Ari, what would you say? How do you feel about that?
You are
Because you say single mother by choice.
Patty took
So
over the show. She's calling on people now.
I'm sorry, no shade. Listen, you had the mothers. We got to give a mother perspective.
Yeah. I say single mother by choice because the relationship, we literally decided to go separate ways and I decided to parent by myself. So I take the same stance that Patty takes. I'm a single mother because I'm here day to day and I'm the custodial parent. Now, I told you, my high of the week was he was here for 2 weeks. He came, he did what he was supposed to do. He came and held it down with me. Love you forever for doing that. We have a great co-parenting relationship, but I'm still a single mother at the end of the day. Being single as in I'm here single with the kids most of the time. I take care of them by myself most of the time. Will I say that I'm a single mother and I have no help at all? Hell no. There's plenty of people that help me. But day to day, in and out, when they waking up at 5 a.m. and they saying, Mommy, I want to come to your bed, that's me. That's nobody else. I'm a single mother by choice.
Yeah, I mean, that whole, you got to be careful with that whole single mother term sometimes, in my opinion, because there have been times where that term was used, and I'm like, are you sure you're a single mother? Because I did take the kids for 2/3 of the summer that summer, so it ain't like you sitting around by yourself. At the same time, you know, I'm able to kind of sit back and relax and realize that, regardless, hey man, get doing this thing and taking care of your kids in the midst of a divorce or in the midst of not being a part of it, a single house family can be rugged, so people do it how they need to do it.
Yeah, the only thing I'll add to that, as being I think the only childless person on the panel today,
Are you
even though I
sure?
have two beautiful.
Listen. No, I don't know. I seen a baby when I was out in the city back in, what was it, March? Yeah, about March. I was in DC. I saw a baby that looked like you had a full beard and everything.
Who was the mother?
Some little brown skin joint. Some little brown skin joint. She didn't receive her portion.
A portion. She didn't get the abortion. The only thing I'll add this, and hopefully this will sum it up. I don't have a problem with single women, single mothers. I date mostly single mothers, and I think that there's a such thing where the single mother was where the man was totally abandoned and didn't do anything, and that's what the single mother was. So when a single mother, I'm saying all single mothers need to be uplifted, all of them, regardless of the circumstance. But the circumstance we become accustomed to is a single mother who gets no assistance from the father. And so when women say, I'm a single mother, it's like, you get assistance though. So the way that we disparage, the way that we as black men hold other black men accountable initially was, you ain't doing nothing? Bitch ass nigga, like, you not my nigga no more. I'm not fucking with you because you ain't doing shit. So the single mother that got the dude that ain't doing nothing, that was one scenario. And then the single mothers who were like, well, he only gets him every other weekend. We start going like, well, that's not kind of what we was arguing for at first.
But see, that's not necessarily a bad thing. When we say single mother, we don't mean like to disparage the fathers. It just means that we are holding a level of responsibility at this time that we think denotes that title. It doesn't necessarily, like, I think that when we say single mother, it always comes with this bad rap. And I think it comes from, child support and, assistance, government assistance and all of that. And that's not necessarily the case. And I wish that it didn't come with that connotation, because it automatically assumes that, oh, the dad is a deadbeat. And that's not necessarily true. And that's definitely not true in my case. When I say single mom, whenever I've said I'm a single mom, I always meant physically, only because their father could not physically be present due to the circumstances of the military, financially. And anytime I ever call him and say, hey, such and such is going on, he dropped everything and made sure we had it. But that didn't stop the, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I have no help here in the DMV. I have to make sure that this kid gets to this kid gets to that, and make sure I'm okay and still get to work on time and all of that. And that's still, to me, an aspect of single motherhood, physically,
I respect that. But I think the only thing that we can add to that is know that when people say single mother, it goes immediately to the father ain't there, he don't care, da da da. So I would be like, I'm a single mother, my child's parents, my child, my child parent, my baby father. I hate the term baby father, baby mother.
Me too, I hate it.
The father of my children is still very much active, but I am still functioning as a single. I think saying it that way, because at first, if you said you was a single mother, that meant the father wasn't there, he wasn't shit, he wasn't claiming a child, and that's what it meant for like 20 years.
Yeah.
So for you guys to have an updated definition of it, the world has to catch up to you. And you have to give us the luxury of educating us as to what it means now so that we can catch up.
That's fair.
Make sense?
That's fair.
And
also, side note, we all have favorite baby daddies. Just so fellas know, if you have a woman or if you have a child with a woman who, has children with multiple men, I'm just letting you know she got a favorite baby daddy.
That's probably true. And every woman got a favorite ex. And every woman got a favorite side nigga.
Wait, no, I don't agree with the side nigga part.
You don't agree?
No, I don't agree with that.
You booed up, I'm not. I agree.
I got a favorite woman for. Let me not. I'm not even talking about my life. So anyway, let's see what our next topic is. Netflix and chill. We talked about Avatar being on Netflix now. JB got me into Avatar. I didn't even know what an anime was. I didn't even know Avatar was an anime. I was just like, a good chick was like, so you watch anime? I was like, Tina Turner? She's like, no, nigga, anime. Like that shit. I was like, and And then I found out Avatar was an anime. And I was like, yeah, JB told me about this shit like 5 years ago. And I was like, you seen this one? And that's when we talked about the episodes, like One Punch Man, Alchemist, Full Metal Alchemist, My Academia. What's this? Attack of the Titans, Attack on Titans. I've watched several now, but they're all on Netflix and Hulu. If you like anime, I'm going to go back and finish the last Avatar, the Last Airbender, because I never watched the final season. So even when the movie came out, it was only one movie, but I've never seen the final season. So I don't know how it ends. So I will watch that. I will see how it ends. And I'm not a gangster geek, but that's what we exchange shit. JB got me into that. I talked to him about spitting in a woman's mouth. So we share. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry. Okay, never mind. Go ahead. Well, never mind. Go ahead.
That just took me left field. I'm not even. I got no comments.
Listen, no. If that's what you like, great. There is another anime section that you might be into. It's called hentai. But we'll talk about that some. We'll talk about that some other time. Anyhow,
the convention here every year. It's in Atlanta.
Oh, okay. Very nice.
Whatever, man.
So this portion of the show is called, okay. So I actually just watched 2 different things this weekend. So I would like to let the fellas know if you have a special lady in your life, or if you're long distance relationship in this whole thing during COVID-19, So hey, area new date night idea for you guys: Netflix and chill, right? You can either use Skype, or Facebook allows you to share screens, and there's some other app, I'll have to think about what it's called, but there's another app that people use where you can input your Netflix information and you can share the movie that you're watching in a group, and you all can comment at the same time. I can't remember what it's called. It'll come to me. But anyhow,
JB's done it. What's it called, JB?
What?
The app, the Facebook and chill, the Netflix and chill app, where we watch a movie together.
Oh shit! Netflix party.
Rave. Okay, so there's another app called Rave. If you all haven't heard of that, there's another app called Rave.
Tell me, Patty. JB, come here a little bit. Lean in. JB.
What?
Lean in. Are you sweating?
No, I'm good.
Now he's sweating.
You got some juice?
Yeah.
I would like to see you take some juice.
Okay.
My brother is a diabetic.
Okay,
and if I ever see him sweating, I'll be like, wait a minute, what's going on? Low blood sugar, what's going on? So yeah, let's see you drink some juice. And while we're doing that, tell us about
That's love. That's love.
Oh, that's
my
fair. I respect that. Okay, take care of yourself.
Always.
I thought it was getting hot in here, because I was still hot when my camera broke. So I'm glad to know it's not that. But so speaking of Netflix and chill, y'all, I did just watch Lovebirds on my last Netflix and chill date.
I watched it last night.
I haven't seen it.
I thought it was very funny. It was good. I support a lot of what Issa does, because I really appreciate the awkward Black girl. I really appreciate that she's unique. She has a different story to tell. So that was a really good show. And then or movie. And then I watched the Wrong Melissa, or The Wrong Missy.
The Wrong Missy. I watched that too.
Wasn't it funny?
Okay.
It was really good. So those are the 2 that I recommend everybody watch. If you're looking for something funny to watch, those 2 were really hilarious.
I would agree. What you got for us, Eric?
So I've been watching Insecure, of course. I'm all caught up. But it's actually on Amazon Prime. So my homegirl was here last night. She came down to visit, and she talked to me about a show called Upload. So basically, like, you're getting your DNA uploaded into this virtual reality, and then you don't really die. So your people can always have like a sense of you. I fell asleep on it though, so I want to go and
That's
finish
a
it
nice
because it
one.
seemed like real cool.
Okay, now what's the name of that one?
Upload
Upload.
on Amazon
Okay.
Prime.
Actually, you
Bet.
caught that one on Amazon Prime. That was a lot of fun. It's like that whole dystopian thing, like, it's like an alternate reality kind of thing, because they like upload their consciousness right to some sort of. Where did everybody go? Where's everybody?
We're here.
Oh, okay. I was like, what happened? Got quiet.
Did you get the juice? Did you get the juice?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead. Finish.
It's right here.
All right. So you said it was dystopian. That's another gangster geek word of the week. What the fuck is dystopian, JB?
It's like apocalyptic.
Exactly.
Look at
Thank you. Thank you. I'm not the only one.
Were you done?
Mm-hmm.
I watched all the movies Shady Patty says. Those are two of mine. She just took them from me. But I also watched Trailer Park Boys, the cartoon, where apparently there's a TV show of white trailer park guys who do trailer park shit. I never seen that, but they have a cartoon. But they'd be like, "We cartoon characters. Oh shit, let's try to fuck the wall." I'd be like, "Yeah, like cut it out." So it's like stupid get high comedy where you're like, did this motherfucker really just try to do it's some funny shit to me. I watched that. I've been watching Insecure because my cousin just gave me my bootleg apps on my Fire Stick wasn't working. So my cousin just gave me her login. So I just watched like the first 4 episodes of Insecure. I'm liking it. I don't know what's going on with Issa and what's her girl name?
Molly.
I don't know what that shit is. I haven't watched every episode, but I feel some weird shit going on between it. Well, I don't feel it. It's pretty obvious, and I don't know what's going on, but I'm watching that. I watched Den of Thieves. Have y'all seen Den of Thieves?
Was that with T.I.?
50 Cent.
Oh, 50 Cent. I've heard of it. I've not seen it.
That was a great movie. Yeah, that was a really good movie. Great.
It was a really, really good movie. Yeah, it's like a Usual Suspects type ending. If you've ever seen Usual Suspects, I hope I didn't ruin it for nobody, but it was. I was told to watch it because of the ending, and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." I was watching Married at First Sight because the Kickbackers, our listeners, I call Kickbackers, and they've been trying to get me married. So they've been insisting I go on Married at First Sight. So I finally watched it to see what it was about. I watched season 9. That was on Netflix, and I liked it. Now I'm watching season 8 on Hulu, and I'm just like, that's crazy to get married at first sight.
Why don't
If
you
that's
go
the case, then
go
we
on
can just
90
get
Day
married.
Fiance?
I never saw that one. How does that one work?
90 Day Fiance. I'm actually just catching up on it now, but it seems like everybody, there's like people who are from the US and they're marrying foreigners and they don't know much about them. They've like either dated them online or they were match made or something like that. And then they have 90 days to like see how the relationship works out before they get married. And it's hilarious. I think it's funny. I also kind of feel bad for the people because the two that are popular right now, there's one guy, his name is Ed, and he doesn't have a neck because God did not bless.
Okay. She's about to talk about God and next, and then it stopped her because everybody know that
God don't like ugly. Yeah, God don't.
If God don't like ugly, he need to cancel that dude off that show because he surely is ugly. He surely is ugly. But anyhow, anyway,
Like,
it's
well,
really
she's like, you so is. That was Whoopi, right? That said that.
yeah,
You
yeah,
so is. Yeah.
Exactly.
No, they said Whoopi was ugly. Who
yeah.
said it? Oh, Suge Avery.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here.
So you are, babe. You are. So anyway, it's interesting to watch the dynamic between people from different cultures trying to make it work so that they can get married and so the other person can get their, their citizenship, because I don't necessarily believe that all these people are marrying for love, but we shall see.
I'm gonna check that out. I can't allow but so much ratchet TV into my life. So I'm gonna. I'm watching 90 Day. No, I'm watching Married at First Sight, and I watched Too Hot to Handle. Have y'all
Oh
seen that?
yeah, on Netflix, where you can't
Yeah,
touch each other. Well, you're not supposed to like have PDA or like have sex. Yeah, I saw that. That
yeah,
seems
yeah,
like a lot of fun. That's a lot of teasing.
yeah. If we did the show with us four, depending on how we would pair it up, it would be a disaster. If it was me and Ari, we would cost all the money.
Yeah.
JB and Patty probably wouldn't spend no money, but you and JB might spend some. Me and Patty might. It's weird. It goes every which way. It's a lot, but it was a fun show though. And one couple just kept fucking, and it was like, dog. Every time you fuck or touch each other, you lose money. And one couple just kept fucking, but it affects the pot for everybody. And it was
We leaving broke.
yeah, we didn't even broke.
No, what's your sign?
Aries.
Oh.
Oh
What
no,
you know?
you're not an Aries too.
What you know about it? What you know about it?
My boo is an Aries. My boo is an Aries. He's an
know.
Aries.
I know. I know your boo.
Mm-hmm. He's an Aries. Lord Jesus, I'm gonna pray
I
for both of
already
y'all.
know.
Ari, I'm gonna talk to you later about that.
So hold on. All right, Patty. So what's your sign?
I'm a Libra.
Oh,
Line
Jesus
ass
Christ.
Libra.
And you already
Jesus
know.
Christ.
No, you
Line
already
ass
know.
Libra.
Because I no, ain't
You
no
you
lying
you
over
you know
here.
my Libras. I have a thing with Libra. Like I have a history of.
And I know some of your Libras in your history. I sure do.
Yeah. So Ari, let's skip that all together. What's your sign?
I'm a Cancer.
Okay, I'm gonna break this down. My history with Libras is very, very high passion and very, very high dramatics, anger. So we like love each other more than any other sign, but we hate each other more than any other sign. So it is like the best sex ever and the worst arguments ever.
I think that's
It's
just Libras
like,
in general.
And then with Cancers, my most loving relationship, well, no, I think my most loving relationship probably was a Gemini. Cancers are my most balanced relationships. Cancers can give me the pussy I want, and the conversation I want, and the fun I want, and the love that I want. That's Cancer. Gemini has just been like, it felt the most right, but it didn't work. And Libras are my kryptonite. I just feel like my life is. I'm dating a girl. I'm like, yeah, I'm a Libra. I'm like, oh, my life is over now. What kind of heartache am I going to go through the next 8 months with this bitch?
Just 8 months?
She's
That's
the
all you
first
giving?
nigga.
Only 8 months.
Yeah, I get in and out. I told you, in and out. I'm 44. I can't give you but so much time. I need my wife. Or my wives.
Oh, God.
But I can't give you like 3 years of figuring it out. I'll be 50 by then. I can't do it. We gotta figure this shit out quick while I'm moving on.
We're going to talk about it.
I still fuck you though. I still make you count.
Huh.
I'm just saying. So
I don't think you can.
Well, so I just looked up you guys' compatibility, and Aries and Cancer sexual and intimacy compatibility is at 70%.
Just 70?
Well, no, but you have to realize that's really good, because a lot of other pairs are a lot lower than that, because you're talking about overall. So your trust, your communication, your emotions, your values, and your shared activities, that all comes up to 70%. So that's actually really good. And that means you're very compatible. Just saying.
Okay.
And he said he'd been a stepdaddy before. So,
Stepdaddy.
Definitely have.
So you don't mind.
And I can vouch for Aries. Aries are good men, you know. Good fathers, very passionate. But anyway.
We'll discuss it. I'm sure the viewers are sick of us.
I'm sure they're waiting for our dating episode. We're gonna videotape our first date.
Oh, and
So
that's fine.
anyway, it's fine. And we can record the second half of the date. Y'all just can't see it. But let's get back to the show. So you better stop.
I'm hot and bothered over here. He said record. I said, play it back, Mr. Gray. Play it back. Jesus, Father God.
That's my nickname. She just called me by my nickname. That's crazy. All right. So we figured out what we were watching.
Yes.
We did.
I'm gonna throw a quick monkey wrench in here, and then we're gonna go to music and get the fuck out of here. It's a good night. What porn are y'all watching right now during this pandemic? What is your pandemic porn of choice?
So now that I have a toy, I'm more open to watching porn because if you ever listen to On Muvas, you know I don't do any of that.
You need a toy to watch
the lesbian relationship. So I'm really into like girl on girl porn, like ebony porn. So I've just been watching that because that shit just excites the fuck out of me. So that's what I've been watching.
Ebony girl on girl porn?
That's it.
I need the asses to be as big as possible. Like,
I love you.
You love me?
Interesting.
I'm gonna make you fall in love. Don't worry.
I'm already there.
Okay.
Ebony girl.
Okay.
You talking? Okay. Patty, what you? Patty, JB, what y'all watching?
What y'all watching?
I like anything that has women that look like me. So right now, Skin Diamond is on my playlist, and anything that she's in just anything that she's in. I can't even say with anything, just her. She's beautiful. I love her, and she makes me feel confident because she looks very much like me. The short hair, petite body. So I'm supporting her.
I don't even know who that is, but I'm about to check some of that shit out.
Let me Google it right now. Skin Diamond.
She Googled it. So I don't watch regular porn like with stars. I only watch amateur. So I don't know any of the famous people. But I'll check it out. JB, what you watching?
Quite a bit. I did a lot. But I'll say probably one of the ones that kind of has been jumping out at me is it's a little obscure, but like cuddle sex, where it starts out where folk are like just kind of laying in the bed chilling, and then they get to fucking hard. I think that's because I'm so lonely right now. I'm more interested in just being with somebody.
The relationship aspect. I feel them ways. Multiple nights I'll be like, I see the boo right here. Look, I can't see it. How can I move? I see the boo. Hey boo, what's up? How you doing?
Yeah, like I kind of.
I want to know how bitch feel. What were you thinking today? What are your emotions? How's your family?
Right.
Tell me. What are your dreams right now? Talk to me.
Right.
But I tell you, what I've been watching, and I feel like I need to explain it, but what I've been watching is threesome sex with two men and a woman. Now, this is why I don't want to do this. This isn't a thing I've done it when I was younger, but this isn't my thing. But what is my thing is a woman being overwhelmed with passion while giving me head, which is why I like toys. Because a woman is giving me head and I can while she's doing it and having her like
actually,
that not even be able to perform. Same thing with the 69. Women hate the 69. I hate it because I can't do what I want. That's the point. The point is for you to not be able to do what you want because I'm making you come. So you're giving me that half-ass head, that half. I don't know what that was. You're giving a half-ass level of head because you're coming, and so you're basically breathing and moaning on my dick. I like that, and so I've been watching that. And I don't. And it's not for the two niggas on one girl. That's not really my thing. But it's for the woman being so overwhelmed with passion while she's trying to give head that it's like a weird head. Because mainly a little bit of second and a whole lot of breathing, a whole lot of coming, but she's trying. And so I like that. That's what I've been watching. Full disclosure. Do y'all think I'm a weirdo now?
Not at all.
No.
Oh, y'all are so loving.
No. I mean, at this point, after seeing Doja Cat is in here doing slave play, I don't think anybody could be considered too weird at this point.
Doja saved me. What the comments say? Oh, I done made Eric computer hot too.
Dying, baby. I had to get on my.
That's why you know.
Doing too much.
Burger say yeah, she will. She's under 30. You know I like that. Lord, I'm not fucking with you. Nope. I don't need this kind of shit in my life right now. I just got on the straight and narrow. I'm about to be on the crooked. Speaking of crooked, Ari, how you feel about curvature? Beyonce wrote a whole song. Beyonce wrote a whole song about me. You know what that song is? No?
No.
To the left. Everything.
Oh my God, sir.
Okay,
So speaking of songs, so the song of the week is I'm gonna drop the damn phone.
Jeez.
Girl, he make me hot, baby.
What is that? Chloe and Halle Do It. That song. That's the song of the week, y'all. That's my song of the week.
I haven't heard anything new by them. I know that Beyonce artists, the twins, they're on grown-ish. They're beautiful. They sing amazingly. I haven't heard the song, but I fuck with Chloe and Halle. So I'm assuming they dropped. Gunna dropped the album. I'm usually not into the, but I love his flow so much. I don't know what he's saying, and I love his beat selection so much that I put it on. I was riding on F out. I was listening to it, and I was like, I don't know what this album is about. It just sounds good. Like it just sounds. I'm riding like this shit sound good. I don't know what that one word, but it fucking sounds good. So that's my review on Gunna. My review on Gunna album is it sounds good. Ask me what it's about. Any of y'all, somebody ask me what it's about. Go ahead, ask me.
What is it about new?
I don't know. It sounds good. It sounds good. I was right. That's what it is.
I gotta be honest with you, bro. You ain't exactly sell that motherfucker though.
I ain't trying to. I'm just giving it to you how it is.
That's fair.
I don't know what it's about. It just sounds good. His flow and his beat selection and his features, it's an eargasm. It's ergonomic, not the ergonomic is with your hands. Ergonomics should be your ear. I don't know why it's your hand.
What? What are you talking about, yeah?
No, don't say that again.
Don't do him like that.
That's that DC education, y'all.
That's
DC
right,
public
that's
school.
right, boo.
Don't do him like
Stick up
that.
for me, boo. Stick up for me,
Don't
boo.
do him like that.
Wow.
So that our apartment kickback playlist is available on Apple, Spotify, and Tidal. We update it every week with the new music. It's a 3-hour playlist, 2 hours of the newer shit, 1 hour of some random throwbacks to get mixed up in between. That's available. Our Choke and Stroke playlist is also available.
That's the one I need to download. What is it? Choke and Stroke?
I'm gonna let you hear when you come to Atlanta. You're not gonna have fun with it without me. We're not doing that. Okay. But the Choke and Stroke play, look at Patty face. So apartment kickback music playlist. It's all the latest songs. It's 2 hours of relatively new music, 1 hour of some throwback. And you can put it on any cookout, kickback, party, chill session, cleaning the house. It's
You're gonna
R&B
add
and rap.
my recommendation. Do It is a really good kickback song
That is
by
uh,
Chloe and
Chloe
Halle.
and Haley.
Do It, yeah.
I tell you what, not only will I add it, but it will be the first song on the playlist as of tonight. It will be song
Perfect.
1.
Perfect.
But I need you to download it, the playlist.
We're gonna download it tonight.
Fair.
Okay.
I can do
Okay.
that.
Personally, send me that.
Somebody said this episode should have had its OnlyFans with the way it's going. You know what? I agree with you, Jeremy. Jeremy, you are so right. I've been trying to start my OnlyFans account. I was just waiting for the green light.
Well, for the record, I have an OnlyFans account. It is a pod named Kickback, but it's up there. You can subscribe, and we're also on Patreon at a pod named Kickback. Shout out to all our patrons. We actually get paid to do the podcast because of you. Well, you.
Wait.
Wait.
For the ladies. No, hold on. For the ladies, though, what does a lady get if she subscribes to a pod named Kickback OnlyFans? What does she get to see?
JB Nuts.
Uh-oh.
No, hold on.
No, he's not kidding, actually.
Come on. Women have wrote into the show about JB's nuts. Like, literally. They have wrote in. Like, they send me comments. Like, tell your co-host to wear those pants. I like those pants.
They was gray sweats. You wearing gray sweats?
No, they were like khakis. Like, tell your co-host to wear those khakis again. I'm like,
Yeah.
JB, wear the khakis again, nigga. We trying to get Joe Rogan numbers. We gotta do it. Let's go, nigga.
Yeah.
Don't be hoeing JB out like that. JB, you don't have to go like that, sir. You don't have to go out like that. You are a
You do. It's in your
Yes, you
contract.
do.
You
Yes,
ain't
you
gotta
do.
in
do
your
that.
contract.
Sis,
Tell
I'm
him
gonna
it's
post
in
your Cabo picture. Your
contract.
Cabo picture.
Is it in your contract too?
Yes. I'm doing next week's episode with no pants. I announced at the beginning of the show. Next week's episode, I'm bottomless.
You
I
said
announced
that,
it
but
already.
then we developed a relationship, and I'm not going for it. So
Don't be that way, babe.
okay, just keep it cute,
You
and I
know-
want half of the
you know-
proceeds.
You know I'm ambiguous.
Okay, well let's just make...
Ambigamorous. All right, let me look that up.
right.
I don't know.
Patty. It's amorous. Like if you're
Ambiamorous.
ambidextrous, you can use both hands. If you're ambiamorous, you can love both ways, monogamously or polyamorously. I'm ambiamorous.
That is a real word, y'all. I just looked it up. I thought he was making up some stuff. I was trying to be funny, but able to enjoy being part of a monogamous or polyamorous relationship.
I'm here for it.
No.
Hey, there you go. So that is the righteous ratchet word of the day.
Ambiamorous. AKA
I told y'all.
ho.
And you know what I found out? I have been called a ho like 20 times. But you also know, I know y'all women and y'all tricks. I know what that word means to y'all.
What do it mean?
What?
Tell us more.
What word?
That's our time for this week, y'all. Thank you for tuning in to a pod named Kickback. We had our special guest on Muvas Pod from my home, the DMV.
Yes, please make sure you follow us at On Muvas, ONMUVAS, On Muvas Podcast. And I'm on all social media at Chatty Patty DC.
Oh, mine is down below, Ari Lawan _.
No, I knew Ari was going to do hers. I was waiting, sis.
Oh, yeah.
Say it for the ones that's only listening. Now, if they're only listening, they are going to come watch it because y'all are two fine ass motherfuckers. Me and JB ugly, but y'all fine as a motherfucker.
Thank you, baby.
So tell them how to find you.
Well, it's ARILAWAN _ on all social media platforms. Mm-hmm.
And I would say so much more, but I don't want to disrespect anybody. Y'all are two very very beautiful women, and we're very happy to have you here today. And that's how I'm going to end it.
Thank you for having us. We love the Kickbackers, and make sure y'all tune in to us because we have something special for our Kickbacker fans on Wednesday.
When are we coming on the show?
That's
That's a good question. Let's talk about that as soon as we get off of here.
Got that.
Okay. So, to all the Kickbackers, if you're a first-time listener, a second-time listener, you're an ex that came back, that's not angry anymore, whatever it is, whatever the case may be, we are at Upon Name Kickback on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Christian Mingle, Black Planet, Mahente.com. We're everywhere. Pod Name Kickback. Pod Name Kickback. I want to thank the ladies for being here with us. This is our 99th episode. Next week, we'll do our 100th episode as a podcast. Now, we're about 300 episodes in between internet TV, internet radio, and becoming a podcast. So we did that. But as a podcast, we are 99 episodes in. We'll be at 100 next week. And I'm looking forward to it. And next week's episode is going to be dedicated. Thank you. Next week's episode is going to be dedicated to JB, myself, and the Kickbackers. So we're going to reminisce like a motherfucker because we earned it. God damn it.
Good night and God
Uno.
bless y'all.
Uno. We out.